of course, the Little App Factory for iRip and Tagalicious. And last but not least, HY Stone Depot for all your granite countertopping needs. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be going into the grand final now. All right. All right, well, without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the grand final of the Razor King of the Beta. Whoever wins this will win $2,000. Whoever gets second wins $1,000. That is many thousands of dollars. Well, it's 3,000 if you add them together.
Simple math.
Either way, we got Idra spawning in the north as the green Zergy pieces, and at the bottom, we have Tester in the festive red.
Lost Temple, again, we just saw this map, but I like these spawn points in favor of Idra.
Yep.
Because, of course, you can't be taking that high yield quite early on, as the opponent won't be able to attack it, obviously, so soon. We'll have to see if he goes for a fast expand or gets his spawning pull down first. But Tester, we just saw him pretty amazing play. That was a great series.
That series was phenomenal. I cannot believe that micro like that exists. But fortunately, we have two magicians playing. The friendly pros from the OGS Pro team.
And there's that Overlord scouting on the right side of the map. So, of course, Idra's going to be seeing that and giving a little fist pump to himself because his opponent is not going to be close to him, at least that close to him. Now he's going to probably be scouting on the left side of the map, and then he's just going to start dancing in his chair, most likely.
Yeah, I mean, this position, this is the danger position. It's kind of funny because 12 versus 3 and 6 versus 9 has that bad rep from Brood War. Those were the hated positions for Zerg users around the globe. But, of course, in this StarCraft 2 Eyes version of Lost Temple, it's the 12 versus, it's bottom versus right. I couldn't remember my clock directions, but it's bottom versus right and top versus left. Those are the two close spots. And interestingly, no 14 hatch. It looks like or even 14 pool. He's going straight for the extractor, wanting to get that gas up, almost certainly going to throw that pool down and go for the fast Zergling speed. This is an extremely conservative build. I'm almost shocked at how conservative it is from a player like Idra.
There goes that drone. Looks like that's not going to be dropping down a hatchery anytime soon. It's going to be a scouting drone.
Oh.
And there is the double gateway now.
Something special going on here.
2-gate opener against Zerg is probably one of the most feared builds any Protoss player can do, no matter what the spawn points are on the map.
And you know what's cool? I mean, again, notice Tester. What am I going to chrono boost? Not probes. He's going to be chrono boosting zealots. Anything except probes is going to be as aggressive as possible. Well, it looks like he's just not going to chrono boost. The C button on his keyboard broke. He's just going to save it up. And you know, Tester is one of the few Protoss players who really goes 2-gate up on top of his ramp. It allows for some nice defensive capabilities. For some reason, his opponent went Baneling bust. It would give him a little bit more flexibility to deal with that. We see Zergling speed coming out immediately, Queen going down. Always a really tense moment right here in a game, in any game, really. It's when you haven't quite gotten the chance to see what your opponent's going to be doing. Later in the game, that's when, you know, all your instincts take over, but in a tournament, especially game 1, you haven't quite settled in your comfort zone. This is the most nerve-wracking period of the game for Idra.
And there goes those zealots making quick work of that drone. Now, Idra's got to be a little bit scared. Here come a couple of Lings, probably going to be finishing off that probe there. He's going to be hiding that drone there on the ramp, and there goes the probe, just high-fiving it to its death, I guess. Congrats on dying is what he said as he passed. But there goes those Lings, and that Queen's going to try to finish off that probe, and it does finish off. And there goes that natural expansion from the Zerg player, Idra.
Now, you got to be aggressive if you're going to be favoring Zergling speed this early on. Because, I mean, look at these huge distances between the mains. I mean, that is so long. And if you're trying to get Zergling speed, yeah, you're going to be great against a left position player. But really, against this far away of an opponent, you got to do as much harassment as possible and make the early investment into those Lings worthwhile. Otherwise, you just got gas early when you should have been early expoing.
There's a handful of Lings coming from Idra, but also a handful of Zealots there to answer to it. With that 2-gate opener, of course, we usually get quite a lot of Zealots. And there's a Forge being hidden in the far, far back. There's also an Overlord finally now into Tester's base. There come the 4 Zealots out there. They are going to be able to probably deal with those Zerglings quite easily, so Idra will probably move back. There's that Zergling speed. Wow, I thought he was going to get a nice surround there, but that Zealot actually didn't take too much damage.
Yeah, always good if you can protect any of your Protoss units from taking any hull damage. There's one Zealot preventing the counterattack. Very smart sign of an experienced player. Ugh, hold position.
Hold position there.
Be very careful, Dr. Greg. You know, it's so easy to go into autopilot, just hit it, and then look away for 1 second, and of course, that's all it takes to falter and fall behind. Expansion finished, drone transfer going on, and it looks like as we go to the production tab, just drones and Zerglings coming out right now for Idra, starting his lair as well, and this sneaky forge placement, that +1 upgrade. Oh no, he hasn't seen it at all. And of course, Hive Cluster is under attack. I'm just very glad that they changed the minerals, boys. We require more minerals, because my installation glitched, and it would actually spam it every time I didn't have enough minerals, like without any delay. So thankfully that doesn't quite fill my ears, and it looks like I can't tell if there's a space. He may have walled himself in for maximum aggression, just making sure that he gets that +1 as fast as possible, and then just pumps out a bunch of Zealot Sentry. You can kill units in 2 hits. Is he going to be able to fit through there? Oh, yes, he can get through.
That's going to be huge. There are no units to take out those Zerglings, and they're just going to do all kinds of work on the probes of Tester.
Oh, Tester trying to bounce around back and forth between the assimilators, trying to regroup. But that early Zergling speed, all it took was 10 and 1 good positioning and apparently 1 non-wall off. And you got right into the back entrance. I can't believe that things can fit through there, but they can. Idra sprinting forth to an early lead. She's going to try to take out as much as he can. Ooh, nice force field, taking some stuff out.
And we do have 4 warp gates up now for Tester, and he also does have that +1 weapon upgrade coming into play here quite soon. Let's go back and look to see what Idra is up in his main. He does have quite a lot of Lings there, and also a quick Hydralisk in. Now, Hydralisk are probably one of the most feared units for Protoss players here in the early game.
Yeah, but the problem is that he hasn't had that much time to get gas. I mean, this is 3 Hydralisks worth of gas, and this is still a very scary push. +1 is done, moving cross map. Is there a probe following? So that way he can reinforce with Pylon. I don't see one yet. Protecting from a counterattack, because yes, you can fit through there, ladies and gentlemen. But there is, oh, the Zergling speed surrounding those reinforcement units. And there's a probe with the pylons. We will be able to reinforce. This is a very, very dangerous situation for Idra, and he knows it. Look at all those spine crawlers going down. Look at this, not even getting range for the Hydralisk, just sprinting to defense as best he can.
Yeah, here comes the attack from Tester. He is inching closer and closer, waiting for that pylon to finish to go ahead and use those warp gates again, as they probably are on cooldown. And there you go, spawning in some more Zealots. And really, you see a lot of Zealot Sentry this early game, or this early on in the PvZ matchup. And here comes Tester. Looks like he's going to be moving forward. And this is going to be probably one of the biggest, I guess, deciding factors of this match right now.
He needs to get those perfect force fields, planting 1 at the ramp and like 5 to shove these Hydras back because they do such high DPS. Zergling's going for the pylon. He's running in. Guardian Shield goes down. Gets 1 good force field, but that second one isn't doing much. As Zergling's annihilating the sentries. Look at these Hydras ripping up the Zealots, playing off that early lead with the Zergling counterattack. And good game. Wow. Idra takes game 1.
Wow, Idra taking game 1 there on Lost Temple. Tester, I mean, why do you think he left the game there? Really, he wasn't too bad a shape. Do you think he was just, he thought he was so far down in terms of economy that he just, I can't win this?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where the farther you've gone in the game, you know, if it's like 5 base versus 4 base, it feels, you know, like you can maybe pull some magic. But I mean, classic 2 base versus 1 base after you failed a big push, the 1 basing player has to play defensively. All you got to do as Idra is just make more drones, make more Hydras, and you're guaranteed the win. Tester kind of had a, I just call it straight up blunder. I mean, Zerglings just walked into his base. And I love that moment of tension where we didn't know if he could get up, the crowd didn't know if he could get up, and then, oh my God, he got in his base, and that was awesome.
Definitely. Now, I want to see what map Tester actually decides to choose.